Be bedtime.
This beautiful swan used to be bullied because his appearance was different from the group. He lost his confidence, he lost his trust in others. He was judged, and he was not loved. They called him the Ugly Duckling. It was a warm summer day. A mother duck had her nest hidden in the long grass, safe from weasels and the fox. She sat on her eggs, waiting for the eggs to hatch. Finally, the eggs hatched and a bunch of golden ducklings appeared. The mother duck was so happy to see her ducklings. But the largest egg in the nest was still there. The mother duck didn't remember laying such a huge egg. Suddenly the large egg cracked open. The baby bird was big, gray, and ugly. He had enormous feet and a broad beak and didn't look like a duckling. Other ducklings didn't like him as he was ugly. A few days later the mother duck took her ducklings for a swim. The big gray duckling also joined other ducklings. After a great swim, the duck family waddled into the yard. As the gray duckling entered the yard, all the ducks started talking about him. Every day he was pecked and pushed by ducks and even by the chickens. One day the poor ugly duckling couldn't take it anymore, so he ran far away from his home. At last, he ended up in a swamp where only wild ducks lived. But even the wild ducks mocked him and chased him away. The poor duckling felt very lonely. He didn't even move from that place. As it was winter, the water was so cold, and he got stuck in the swamp as it froze. In the morning, a farmer who came that way rescued the duckling and took him to his house. But the duckling was terrified since no one was nice to him. He fluttered into the milk vessel and splashed it all over the room. The farmer's wife got furious and chased him out into the cold. The duckling went back to the swamp. He spent a long and lonely winter, struggling to survive. At last, the snow melted away. It was spring and the duckling was big and stronger than before. He flew high in the air, and he landed by a lovely lake surrounded by magnificent, white, and graceful swans. The ugly duckling thought that if the swans see him they will also make fun of his appearance. He was ashamed of himself and bowed his head low. When he bent his head, he saw his reflection in the water and was astonished. His ugly feathers were now snowy white. His neck was curved and slender. He had grown into a swan. The other swans came towards him and stroked him with their beaks. Nearby children shouted with joy at the sight of him and threw him some breadcrumbs. He felt very happy to be with his friends. Suddenly, the duck family arrived. This unexpected reunion made the ducklings surprised and they were ashamed because they used to look down on and make jokes about the little duck, who has now become a beautiful swan.